This is the truth, is that when I pitched it, because I came in and I pitched
my own idea.
I'm really interested in Star Wars from the perspective of the bad guys. Then the Jedi become the antagonists.
It's not the bad guys, but the bad guys to the bad guys.
It's a trap!
Space lesbians.
Space lesbians.
That's the show.
All
it
right.
was dog shit.
Does everything that's bad about it, and I'm not saying this tongue in cheek, I'm asking a genuine question. Does lesbian or what's her name?
Lesbian headlamp.
Star Wars saved my life.
Leslie Headland and her prioritizing, and I'm sure she's not just the only one in on it. Might be a little pet project, but they're all in on it.
Pretend like you know how to do it. I didn't at all.
Is prioritizing that what got you a narrative, and which, as you explained to me, is either dog water or does it make sense, or both?
The writing was abysmal. It
Okay.
made no sense. If you were trying to portray the Jedi as being evil in this, or potentially having malevolent will or whatever towards you did a really bad job of it, because you showed these witches to be an incestuous bunch of dark side wielding communist cult members.
But do you really think that there was an attempt to make them like? Is that how they think?
I legitimately think she tried to make you have sympathy for the space lesbians.
That's pretty remarkable.
I think she tried to make her mother seem as if she was pragmatic and open, but she wasn't. Every time OSHA said, I want to go, she wouldn't let her go. OSHA said, I don't want to become a witch. I don't want to take the trial or the part of the ceremony. I don't want to be part of this. And she said, yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
Credits will do fine.
No, they won't.
Credits will do fine.
No, they won't. What, you think you're some kind of Jedi waving your hand around like that?
And then one person goes, she's a child. She can't make her own decisions. And then her mum would say, yes, she can. She's not a child. She can make her own decisions. And then she'll say, I don't want to be a space witch again. And the mum will go, tough shit, you are. To which is it? Is she somebody capable of making her own decisions? Or is she a child who you're fucking indoctrinating? Either way, you're losing here.
Yeah. I do think that comes from the misunderstanding of what should be universal truths. And I think that's what got the modern writer in trouble, right? Because they don't really know what good is.
No, they do not.
So how can you portray good if you don't understand it? Right now, it's one thing if you're going out of your way, like, we know antiheroes, they exist. And then, they're going to have a little more to them, right? But from what I pick up, they legitimately wanted you to think the people that you're describing as not good to be good. And that comes from a fundamental misunderstanding of what good is. And this is why I think these guys make the worst, not just writers, but just all around creators.
Eric, put it this way. You clearly did aspects in this show where the space witch lesbian commie cult did the whole we're persecuted.
Mm-hmm.
We're persecuted. We hide because we're hunted. People deem us unnatural.
Yeah.
And then you look at the reality of what's going on in the show's terms, and the reality is you're a cult that uses the dark side of the Force.
Yeah.
And you've used it to create children because you can't have any because you're all
lesbians.
Women. Master Trinity even says, who's the father? And they say, there isn't one.
Who was his father?
There was no father.
Essentially telling them we're using the dark side of the Force to create life, which in itself is whatever.
No.
It was stupid back in the Phantom Menace, and it's stupid fucking now. So, so when you try and make a repressed group, a minority, and then but you play them as the bad guys, do you know what? Are you looking in the fucking mirror?
Well, I think that's the problem. I mean, these guys, I shared a video not too long ago. Was that last night or this morning, whenever that was? One of my old videos talking about this stuff where, there are folks out there, they're on a crusade while also trying to be the, perpetual sort of victimhood, obviously, that exists, and that they thrive off of. But because they've tricked themselves into believing that they are that victim perpetually, they feel like their actions, no matter how bad, are justified, right? So when they do bad things, I mean, you see this in the real world, especially if you live in the West, man. You see this all the time, where the people that are crying foul are swinging on folks and using acts of aggression.
You ain't got shit.
You don't have to worry about that. I mean, you have the most approved sort of line of thinking. It is government sponsored, in collusion with the mega corporation. It is mega corporate sponsored, especially in this month. So it is quite remarkable when they do present themselves as heroic, right? While doing things that are the complete opposite. You act as a villain, but want to be a hero. And I do think that that's why you get those types of storylines where you have like, I'm supposed to be convinced that this person is good, not an anti-hero or anything. You're like giving it your best attempt to present this person as good, or present these groups of people as if they are good people, morally good people, but they act like pieces of shit, or they act or have characteristics and traits that we usually identify villains with,
like the mother in this show.
Exactly.
They try and make her appear to be wise and sage, but she's not.
Yeah.
She's a person that wants to indoctrinate children against their will.
That to me is projection. They don't understand that, but it is projection. And I think that's who the writers are. And that's all they know how to do, because that's who they are. Definitely, if you take the last 5 to 10 years or whatever, this craziness that has sort of manifested itself, especially with the Rainbow Brigade, and how they have been very successful, albeit, in throwing their weight around, getting whatever the fuck it is that they want, to the point to where, and I'm not using this as sort of a gay analogy, I'm just saying what people are bending over backwards for them. Not meaning that in a homosexual way. I'm just saying that that's what they do. So when you've lived your life under those set of circumstances, and believe it or not, these people are still convinced that they are oppressed.
Yeah, I know. It's pathetic. It's beyond pathetic. You've swung so hard. You've actually gone from acceptance, swung all the way through to, we're getting really fucking sick of this now, because they want all the benefits of being repressed and a minority, while actually holding the positions of power to proclaim it.
Yeah.
It doesn't add up. The two are not conducive. You can't be in the positions of power that you are claiming repression.
Seems obvious, it's not.
I know it seems obvious. That's just it. But we're not fucking stupid people. We have more than 3 brain cells, and that's all you need.
Yeah.
You're preaching from one area, and you're saying there's the line. They have the line in this episode. It's not about good or bad. It's about power and who's allowed to wield it. The one that was in the trailer, right? By the way, she's saying this as she's refusing to let OSHA leave. You are in the position of fucking power as the woman in charge of the cult. Written by the woman in power at Disney fucking Corp. Writing a Star Wars show with $100 million budget.
180.
Turning it, 180 million? Turning it into your lesbian fantasy show. Can I control anything? Can you?
They ain't listen to you.
Did you hire anyone for that show, Eric?
No.
I fucking didn't.
No.
Did you write anything? Were you able to say where they filmed, who they hired, the crew, the cast, anything?
No, I had nothing to do with that.
I know. It seems like we don't have the power, Eric.
It's almost as if
seems like somebody else does, though.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to head over to Rippaverse.com to check out our comic book company. We have books, plenty of merchandise, and even some glorious animations from Rippaverse Studios.